Hello, 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 and welcome. Welcome to the Dr. Grant Show. Today's topic is very close and dear to my heart because it comes up very often in many conversations. You know, it's really hard to stay motivated when sales are down. You're constantly feeling like you're playing catch up. For people that struggle with emotional eating, stress eating, food addiction, and you're trying to balance and find a way perhaps to lose weight, the pressure to succeed, it can feel like you're drowning. It can feel so overwhelming. Sales in itself, without assistance, can feel like a roller coaster ride. One day you are on top of the world, and the next day you are struggling to make ends meet, especially if you are an entrepreneur. It's extremely easy to get discouraged when things aren't going your way. But today I am going to cover 6 steps that are going to help you crush your sales goals while using EFT tapping sound baths. I'll be covering the following talking points. Number 1, understanding the basics of EFT tapping. Number 2, identify what's blocking you from achieving your sales goals. Third, we're going to use and talk about using EFT tapping to clear the blocks and achieve your sales goals. Fourth, how to create a sound bath to support your goal achievement. Fifth, use sound baths regularly and how to use them in order to maintain the momentum and maintain success. And finally, number 6, the importance of celebrating your successes along the way. This show is being live streamed, and of course, if you have questions now or later, feel free to go into the chat and ask any question that you desire. We're live streaming simultaneously on various social media channels. All right, so let's get into this. So if you see me going between 2 cameras, that's the reason why. So first of all, let's dive into understanding the basics of EFT tapping. EFT tapping is a powerful energy psychology modality, and it's often used by practitioners in energy psychology practitioners. It can be used by anyone. The key here is learning how to use EFT tapping in a way that benefits you and addresses whatever it is that you're wrestling with in your life. How it works is actually tapping, just applying very gentle taps, 2 fingers, on the major meridian points in Chinese medicine. That's defined by Chinese medicine. EFT tapping has been shown in research studies to be so powerful that it has helped with depression symptoms, anxiety symptoms, stress symptoms. It has even been used to help people overcome major obstacles like managing to study and prepare for a test. It's been used in food addiction and addressing symptoms such as needing to food binge, stress eating, overeating. The options with EFT tapping are endless. EFT tapping also, most importantly, it has been used to handle and help people that have addressed and dealt with and suffered from trauma. It was used in the Sandy Hook massacres that happened years ago to help those people that struggled with the trauma of those events. So EFT tapping is extremely powerful, and more research is coming out each and every single day about its effectiveness and how effective it is to help people overcome tragedies that have been going on in their lives. So these are the basics. EFT tapping, the reason why it's so wonderful is that once you understand and have the right tools and have been guided on how to do this and execute this properly without mistakes, You can use EFT tapping for almost any situation because it is fast, it's simple, it is also quite discreet, which can be very beneficial if you are in a group, company of friends, coworkers, even loved ones, where you need to lean into this mechanism to help you succeed. Okay, so let's get into number 2. So once again, I am broadcasting simultaneously on all social media channels. So if you guys have any questions, my wish and my intention and desire is for this to be as interactive as possible. So if you have questions, please do not be shy, concerned, or afraid to go right ahead and type up in the chat whatever it is that you guys have questions about. Okay? All right, so let's get into number 2. Identify what is blocking you as our second step from achieving your sales goals. Often we think that the key to be an effective salesperson or selling our product or selling something we're passionate and believe in is the right script, for example, or a certain technique, for example, when the reality is, and this is the ground level here, it is extremely crucial and pivotal to understand what is blocking you in the first place. I, in my digital wellness practice, work with emotional eaters, stress eaters, food addicts, and people that are trying to lose weight. These people come from all walks of life and have a myriad of responsibilities. But one of the most important things here is we have to acknowledge in some shape, form, or fashion, you are selling. You're placed in a situation where selling is expected or needed. Identify how you feel about selling. I remember my first sales job years ago. I was told the secret to selling was racking up a huge amount of credit card debt, and that would inspire me to sell. That went against the grain of how I felt, but I tried a little bit of debt and it felt so uncomfortable that for me, it short circuited me and I wound up not selling anything at all. Not what we're trying to do here. So identify where this comes from. Identify how you came into having the thoughts, values, and belief systems about sales and sales, which leads me to number 3. Use EFT tapping to clear blocks and to achieve your goals. EFT tapping, once again, is obscenely effective, but it is only effective if you are working with the right practitioner and are very specific about the problem. Not specific in terms of what you think is the problem, but specific from the perspective of what the real underlying problem is. Often when I chat with people about this, we uncover and discover that, the real underlying problem is not that we're afraid to talk to the customer, or it's not that we need a better script. It's something internal, deep down, perhaps that was unknowingly placed there by well-meaning and intending family members, loved ones, that talked about sales. Maybe your first impression of a salesperson was when your mom hung up on someone when you were a kid and said, "Oh, salespeople." Don't think that that didn't wiggle its way into your subconscious mind. It did, and it colored your opinion on sales. And at the same time, it handcuffed you because you didn't want to be perceived as that icky, slimy person. Let's go into the 4th step. Create a sound bath to support your goal achievement. Goal achievement here is dynamic, it's fluid, it's constantly moving. This is about more than achieving your sales goal. This is about what's blocking you. That's number one, finding out what's blocking you. Is it skills? Is it confidence? Is it self-esteem? Is it your opinion about yourself? Is it your opinion about the act of sales in itself? Is it a lack of belief in the product? As you pull these layers away with EFT tapping, sound baths, you're set free and you are able to perform your role in sales freely and effortlessly. But the key is to make sure that you have the tools to pull those layers back. This is why some sales programs, they simply don't work, because we're not getting into the root of why and what and how these beliefs about sales were formed. And then the end result is, until you get to the source and the root of the problem, we're constantly flubbing and at a loss for words when we're chatting with a client or a potential client. We're constantly not performing. We're constantly not achieving our expectations. And we're feast or famine again. And I don't want that for you. Let's go into our fifth step. Use sound baths regularly to maintain your success. This one is kind of like brushing your teeth. You wouldn't dare avoid brushing your teeth for a week, would you? Well, I kind of hope that you wouldn't go a week without brushing your teeth. Quite dangerous if you do. Just think about even that morning, if you go past a few hours after waking up. Once you have eradicated all of the things that are blocking you, identified those belief systems, pull them up by the root, snip the inner acoustic wiring that was previously holding you and tethering you to it, you must continue to do maintenance. It's like planting a garden. My husband and I, we planted a garden recently this year. And if we did not tend to that garden and pull up the little weeds that landed there, the next thing we knew, it would be choking out the main harvest that we wanted. The same thing is true for EFT tapping sound baths. Once you've found what works, you've uncovered everything that's been blocking you, you've found out where the belief systems are and the role they're playing, and the value system and the role that it's playing, you design that final EFT tapping sound bath and you use it morning and night. And this will maintain your momentum and your sales and your increased profitability and continue to fatten your pocketbook or your wallet. Which leads me to number 6. Celebrate. Never forget to celebrate your successes along the way. Make sure every single success that you encounter, no matter how small or how large. I have worked with people that struggled originally with speaking on the phone, via Zoom, and once we untethered them from those beliefs, from those lessons that they thought served them in the past, they were able to celebrate victory after victory, and they didn't give in to dismissing their accomplishments, which is something that can often happen if we're not careful. Celebrate every victory. Celebrate that because you're no longer stressed about this thing that you used to encounter when you were selling before, prior to the EFT tapping sound bath. Look at how your life has changed. Look at how you're no longer binge eating and stress eating and emotionally eating because you're no longer stressed. Look at how you're getting that applause and self-recognition that you always felt you deserved, but you just didn't know how to stinking get there. Celebrate. Always celebrate. Celebrate these times. Celebrate that you went one night, 1 hour without thinking about food. Celebrate and think about you didn't give in to the urge to have that happy hour, not because you didn't enjoy it, but because you were trying to find a way to soothe. Every single thing must be celebrated. This gives your brain the extra shot of dopamine and serotonin. And this helps you keep that momentum going. If you're an entrepreneur, keep that business going. If you work and have sales as part of your function, keep your business going, okay? Keep your department going, all right? So, so for you guys, make sure to post any questions that you happen to have in the chat, okay? Now or later, because once again, like I said before, my goal here is to always make sure that this is interactive. Now, in my digital wellness practice, where I work with emotional eaters, food addicts, stress eaters, I begin to notice something. Most people have plenty of information available online for free, but it's only touching upon calorie counts and willpower. And although that is important, the crown jewel, your starting point, is always going to be your mindset. If this is something that makes sense to you, or if you have you've tried other things and you have found that they worked for a short time, but they didn't continue working. If you have found that you want something that's sustainable, you want to get to the root of this problem permanently. If this sounds like you, then it might be time for us to have a real conversation. It might be time to have something that's more customized for you. And don't you deserve it? Don't you think you're worth it to actually have something that's customized just for you? If this is sounding like you, then you're going to want to sign up for and discuss us having a amazing VIP accelerator that I am putting on over the next few weeks. This VIP accelerator is going to show you how to use EFT tapping to crush your sales goals. You're going to learn how to use EFT tapping to actually identify where you've been having hiccups, your hidden areas of value systems and beliefs. We're going to talk even more about the beautiful art of special words. And everything that I'm talking about is completely backed by research. It's going to help you stay motivated and focused, even when you have those tough times. The beauty of EFT tapping sound baths, once you get this up and running in a very short time, this program, it's going to help you see what's been holding you back. You're going to overcome the fears that you've had that were both very obvious and also hidden. You're going to overcome your psychological blocks that have been preventing you from making the sales that deep inside you know you should have made. You just simply didn't know why you didn't make them. You'll begin to have peace and security financially because you'll be able to no longer go through the feast or famine. You'll finally be able to look at family and friends with your head held high because you'll know that confidently I can depend on myself and know that I am more than capable of supporting my household. Imagine how that would feel to wake up every morning instead of shooting awake at 2 a.m., holding onto your chest, being nervous and wondering, are you going to make it and hit your quota for this month? Imagine silencing those nagging feelings of doubt. And for those of you that work with someone or for someone, imagine no longer being somewhat terrified when your manager or director calls you in to their office. For people that are managers and directors, imagine having this VIP accelerator, passing this information along, and seeing your department actually having the tools finally to knock out their sales goals, and you can just rest easy. This is what EFT tapping does. And I see you guys in the chat. Like I said before, make sure, just go ahead and post any questions you happen to have since we're streaming live. You can post these questions now, or you can post these questions later if you are catching this on the replay. It is all about mindset. Sales scripts are nice, but until you have it here in your heart and mind that you are capable of doing this, sales scripts will fall flat. And the emotional eating and the food addiction and the stress eating and the weight gain will continue. If this is something that you no longer want to have happening in your life, you want to be healthier, but this big old fat problem is sitting in the way, then feel free to reach out to us. Our contact information is listed here or here at 312-601-8510. You can also get our free guide and ebook that we have available by clicking on the link or sending us a text. And you can just simply send us a little wave and a hello. Once again, you can reach us at 312-601-8510 or check out our website on edibleaddiction.com and set up a nice consultation where we can have a discussion. You'll walk out with real world solutions that you can implement right then and there. And if that fixes the problem that you've been having, then wonderful. But if you're finding that you might need more, you'd appreciate more support, you'd like to stop fumbling around in the dark with all these free books, free resources that are talking at you and to you, but you've got nobody to talk back to help you, then maybe it is time for us to have a little chat and conversation. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me and watching the Dr. Grant Show. We are dedicated to helping people overcome the real challenges in their lives that have kept them from achieving their fullest potential and walking in what they know they deserve. We're dedicated to giving you a fully integrative solution to your challenges. Because let's face it, if it were easy, if it were just easy to read a diet book, if it were easy to read a sales book and implement said sales script, attend said master class and be done, none of us would be struggling right now. So clearly, that means that there's something more going on. And we want to give you that integrative approach that covers everything that is tilting the odds away from being in your favor and help you flip the script and finally move the odds in your direction, in your favor. When you do that and get those solutions, actually, for those of you that struggle with your weight or struggle with overeating or binge eating or stress eating, the pounds they just fall off, and it becomes so much easier because you're finally addressing and getting to the root of the problem. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching the Dr. Grant Show. Much love to you. Bye.